Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Kalpesh Patel. I'm super excited to be your host tonight for Nuts and Bolts Training. So here every Tuesday we get together and open up the conversation of network marketing, what it is, how it works, and what are your, if you like, blockages to making it work for you. All right. So network marketing for me, it's the best opportunity platform on the planet. And as an entrepreneur, I've seen them all, right? As an entrepreneur, I've never worked for anyone else. I've never had a job. So I've always had my own businesses. I've retailed, I've wholesaled, I've done distribution, I've done export, import. I've done lots of different things. And through all the different things of my journey as an entrepreneur, the one system, if you like, that I love the most, because it allows me to help the most people, is network marketing. And funnily enough, I was having a conversation along these lines with a contact of mine on Facebook today, who just couldn't get his head around network marketing, didn't understand what I was talking about when I said that I was helping loads of people around the world, empowering them with a system that could help them improve their financial situation. For him, this was a foreign idea. Why would anyone want to help somebody else, was his mindset. And what's the catch? He was like, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, it really is, when you look at it, for what it is, you can see a lot of people will come from a place of it's too good to be true, because it's not normal. It's not normal that, there is a way that somebody can set themselves free financially with such a small risk and the ability to help others. So when you're approaching this, is that your relationship to it? I guess that's the question. Or like him, have you got some other story still? Like, you might be in, but you might not fully understand what you're in, right? A lot of people get into network marketing in the beginning just for personal reasons, which is perfectly normal. The first decision is always going to be personal for most people anyway, because you want to improve your own situation. But once you're in and you're improving your own situation, do you relate to it as a system that you can help others? That, for me, has given me the most excitement along the way, the most passion along the way. Like, when I'm sharing with people, I'm sharing from that place, right? Like, it's what else can you do? So I asked him a question. I said, what do you do to make a difference? How are you helping your friends, your family, your contacts improve their financial situation? And of course, as always, big blank gap of communication. There was nothing there. What do you do? And isn't it interesting, even though people don't have an alternative or a solution of any kind, they'll still have an opinion about a solution. And this is, for me, like, such an interesting, subtle but powerful learning, because here I am, 27 years full-time in networking, and still experiencing the very same thing I was experiencing the very first time I started, which is coming across people that have no clue. And we forget. What happens is we hang around the same circles for so long, sometimes we forget that 95% of the planet has no clue about network marketing. They don't. Sometimes, if you've been in network marketing for a while, you think everyone knows about network marketing because everyone knows about network marketing. But that's not the world. And sometimes we rely on a very small circle of conversation. It becomes insular. And we're missing out on the bigger picture. The bigger picture is the vast majority of people have no clue. Number one, they have no clue that it's possible to have a low risk, high upside opportunity. And number two, that you can leverage the opportunity by helping others. That's what network marketing is. Whatever the product or service is, number one is you take advantage of it yourself. Whether it's a great pill or a beautiful lotion or a potion that makes a big difference to your life and your situation, your health and everything else, or it's a system that allows you to gain a knowledge, understanding, plug into automated way of earning, whatever it might be. So you have a system that you take advantage of for yourself, and then you leverage that system by helping others to understand the system. So sometimes we maybe are so Number one, taking it for granted that everyone knows about it. Or number two, in our own world, to reach out to people from scratch. So I think today for me is like when people say, I don't know anyone, or I've run out of contacts, I don't know who to speak to. How about you play a game where you go out of your way not to speak to the people that you already know that are in the industry? Like, you're going to do that by default anyway. But how about you go out of your way to, like, if you're doing that anyway, fine. But on top of that, like, you play an extra game where you are going to now take it on to see how many people can you find that don't know about network marketing or don't understand network marketing. Maybe they might have seen something, they might have heard of something, they might have even had a go, but without understanding it. And how about taking on like a challenge of creating awareness, waking somebody up, raising their awareness, making them, alerting them of the fact that there is a system in the world that is impartial, that is fair, that is non-judgmental, and will let anybody from any background, any experience of life step in and, to their commitment, create whatever they want to create in proportion to whatever it is they're committed to, directly in proportion to it. Like, no ifs or buts or maybes. Anyone that wants to come into this industry and make it work always does. Listen to what I'm saying. Anyone that comes into this industry and is committed to making it work always does. Not everyone that joins the industry makes it work. And committing to it is the key. And oftentimes people don't commit to the understanding of it, to the learning of it, to the mastery of it, to succeed with it. But why should this be any different to any other profession on the planet? It is a profession. People study 7-8 years to become doctors. It's a profession. I was speaking to a couple of friends of mine today, this morning, from Russia. And one of them's a doctor. The other one is a marketing lady. And the two of them were telling me how there are tons of doctors in Russia that don't have work. Imagine that, highly educated, highly skilled, spent years mastering something, and they don't have work. So there's an oversupply of doctors in Russia. Imagine that. So they were talking to me about how they can bring these doctors over to Dubai and, create some kind of an opportunity for them. But I was blown away. 7-8 years of your life to study something, and the outcome is unemployed. That's mastery at the highest level of something. I'm not saying this is going to take you 7 or 8 years to crack. Took me 3 years, right? Call me a bit of a Dumbo, a bit of a slow coach. Took me 3 years to work it out before I started making real money, right? I was doing what a lot of people do, dabbling. I was playing for the first 3 years, making some change, right? A couple of grand here, a few hundred quid there, selling cookies, selling ideas, selling this, selling that, whatever it was. I was making a few £100 or a few £1,000s a month here and there. Nothing that was setting the world on fire. But in its time, fantastic. 27 years ago, making 1,000, 2,000 a month was huge, part-time, couple of evenings a week, right? But it wasn't like transformational, wasn't mind-blowing. The world wasn't looking at me going, flipping hell, look at him go. No. After 3 years, that's what happened. Because I understood the industry a lot more. I understood people a lot better. The mechanics of how it all works a lot better. So are you taking time to understand the bigger picture of what you're in, what you've got your hands on, what it can do, not just for you, but for anybody around you. Not from a place of selling them something, not from a place of trying to get them in. And it is quite a subtle conversation, right? Because of course you want to get them in. You want to get them in your team. You want to, get them moving. You want them to succeed. You want them to win. You want all of that. But there's a bridge to be crossed, perhaps, before you get them in, that sets a much more solid foundation when they're in. So I guess the real question there is, are you proficient enough to teach network marketing to somebody else? And if you're not, then there's a nice gap there for you to work on as well, right? So while you're reaching out to people, communication, conversation, connecting with people, all of that is wonderful. But if you're doing it the same way and it's not working, something needs to give, right? If what you're doing is not producing results, is not proving fruitful, or maybe it's only proving fruitful for you, but not your people. Maybe your people don't duplicate. Oh, Kalpesh, my team don't do anything. How often do I hear that? It's either, I don't know anyone, I don't know enough people, I've run out of contacts. That's one of them. It's like, wow, really? 7-8 billion people on the planet. Have you run out of contacts? Goodness. What game are you playing? Or it's you've managed to go out there, you do know people, you do have contacts, you've managed to get some people in, but there's no duplication happening. There's no leverage. So you're still swapping your own effort for money. You're only getting paid for your own effort. And you haven't tasted leverage yet. So are you able to speak with your people in a way that they are better educated, more aware, more powerful in the world as a result of communicating with you? Is that who you are? Is that the space that you provide for them? Or is that an area that you've missed? Because I can promise you, the more you master every part of what you do, the easier it becomes to lead and duplicate and create that magical word that everybody wants, which is duplication and momentum. So yes, plugging in is hugely important for yourself, but again, is your team plugging in? So if you got 3, 4, 5 people frontline directly signed up and you're the only one showing up to this nuts and bolts, then there's a gap. What is it that you're not able to communicate with your people to express to them what this can do for them? Like, do they get it? If your frontline knew, like absolutely knew what 7 o'clock each night means for them, would they miss this? Flips it the other way around, doesn't it? Rather than blaming them or dismissing them or giving up on them, or, oh, they just don't come, they can't be bothered, they're lazy. And yeah, there's all of that stuff. But what if you got 5 of them, what if you could get 3 of them start being more consistent with you? Would that make a difference? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, take a look at, where are you the leader? Where are you leading? There's a big difference between leading and showing up. Big difference, right? Showing up is a huge, huge part of your personal success, but leading others is the next level. That unlocks a whole different dynamics. When you own your leadership, step into your greatness, trust yourself. When you are confident in your own ability, that makes all the difference. Because the truth of the matter is, the vast majority of people want to be led. The vast majority of people have not trained every day to lead themselves. It's not their world, it's not their conversation. So they look for leadership, whether it's at work or at home. Even in home, there'll be a leader, a decision maker that everyone revolves around, right? In every house, there's a decision maker. In every business, there are decision makers that then instruct, and then there are followers of those decision makers that carry out the instructions. This is no different. In terms of the mechanics, it's no different. Where it's different is that you get to choose to lead here. You might not get to choose to lead at work, although in your own way, anyone can lead in any environment, right? But in terms of the structure, the pay structure, as I often say, you might be waiting for somebody above you to die or get retired or fired before you can move up the ladder. But in network marketing, you don't have to wait for any of that to happen if you want to get promoted. So you choose to lead. Some of you don't even have a choice to lead at home, right? But here in network marketing, you choose to lead. But are you choosing to lead? See, once you make the decision to lead, even if you've got one person on your front line that you're leading, you're now a leader. Now you can duplicate. That one can bring you 2 or 3, that can bring you 4 or 5, that can bring you 10 or 15, and you're on your way. But it starts with one that's willing to listen to you. One that respects you as somebody that can teach them, that has more knowledge, has more wisdom, has more awareness, has more understanding. Knowledge alone doesn't cut it, right? We know that. It's much, much deeper than that. If you want somebody to respect you as their leader, as their guru, as their teacher, then you've got to earn that, right? So what books are you reading about network marketing? What audios are you listening to about network marketing? A great place to start, if you like reading, then there's a couple of really awesome books you can read. One of them is Your First Year in Network Marketing. I think Mark Yarnell was the author of that one, yeah. Your First Year in Network Marketing. Fantastic starting point. If you don't like reading, all of the books now are available on audio on YouTube. Every single book you could ever think of, somebody has read it and recorded it on YouTube for you. So there's no excuse, right? I used to read, I'm dyslexic. It used to take me weeks to read a book. And I'm not only dyslexic, I'm an entrepreneur. I get bored in 5 minutes. So I'd read multiple books, right? I hated reading. I read slowly and I'd get bored reading, right? So I had to read multiple books at the same time. So I'd read this one for like 10, 15 minutes, and then I'd have to read another one for 10, 15 minutes, but I would force myself to read. And that's how I read now. I read reasonably well for a dyslexic. I won't say I'm the best reader in the world, but I can pretty much read most things at a reasonable pace. Why? Nobody believes me when I tell them I'm dyslexic, right? But I know when I'm reading it, I'll read letters back to front and get words mixed up and all sorts of weird things happen in my head. But now, because I've forced myself to read as much as I did back in the day, like overrode everything, I can read in a way that I read it first in my head and then speak it. And then oh, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just got disconnected from my net. Happens, right? in your early days, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Absolute gem of a book. Like literally tons and tons and tons of simple, applicable wisdom. Golden nuggets, like line by line, it will teach you what to say, how to say it, when to say it, who to say it to, what makes the biggest impact, how to build rapport quickly, how to connect with people quickly, how to make people feel great, how to, as it says, and influence people. Isn't that the business that we're in? Winning friends and influencing people. It's the ultimate learning book. There are tons, by the way, tons, right? It's limitless, the number of books you can read into, but these are like fundamental ones, right? Nice starting place. And they'll lead you to wherever you need to get led to next, right? But if you start with those couple of books, get the audios and master them. Don't just listen to them once, or don't just read them once, master them. These are like bedside books. A paragraph a day or two, or a chapter a day or two. And just keep drumming that in. Over time, it's inevitable. Your pathways in your brain will start connecting the dots, and you will find yourself in the middle of a conversation and it will just flow. And you'll be like, did I just do that? Did I just build rapport with somebody, build connection, build trust, win them over, and influence their decision to want to come to a Zoom without having any information or knowledge? Yes, I just did that. It's mastery. It's like alchemy. It's like magic happening in front of your very eyes. You'll witness it. You've got to ingrain it in your like nervous system so much that it becomes second nature. It's like everything. Like if you study martial artists, it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again every day. Wax on, wax off daily. And then bang, suddenly in the ring, all comes together. Sharon knows that, don't you? Right? But that's not the everyday. Read Michael Jordan's book, his biography. Same thing, day in, day out, mundane, mind-numbing, excruciating at times. But guess what? When it comes to game day, bang, it all comes together. Tiger Woods, same story. The Williams sisters, same story. That, you know, every area of life, whether it's sports, whether it's entertainment, television, you know, Sylvester Stallone, Jim Carrey, all of their stories, off the chain, insane parallels. Will Smith, all of them, exactly the same message every time. And we all think it's something else. We all think it's something more than that. And that's where we block ourselves. It's no more than that. It's just having the courage to do it badly, often enough in the beginning, that it gets a bit better, and then it gets good, and it gets gooder, and then it gets great. There's no avoiding that journey. All you can do is speed up how quickly you go from one end to the other. And you speed it up by the daily, the consistency, and how much of it you do daily, right? Another great listen, 30 minutes a day. I promise you, if you, this is, again, this more on the personal development side, but if you can get into the habit of listening to this for 30 minutes a day, just try it out for 30 days. Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret. Easy listen, 30 minutes a day, repetition. The wisdom, the nuggets in that 30 minutes, mind-blowing. So do the inner work. Do the inner work. And then in terms of specific to network marketing, GoPro by Eric Worre. Captures from all of the leaders around the world nuggets of wisdom that we can learn from. Why go the long way when you can go the short way? We didn't have all of this back in the day when I started out. We didn't have access to any of these phenomenal tools that are available at your fingertips today. We had to go and buy cassettes and attend real seminars if we wanted to hear wisdom. Now it's at the fingertip. It's on your phone. It's on your device. All you've got to do is go click and bang. Anything you want, mastery in anything you want, click of a button. Are you using it? Are you taking advantage of the times that you're living in? Talk about accelerated learning. YouTube is a phenomenal accelerated learning platform. If you use it for that, you can use it for wasting time as well. Of course, a lot of older, probably 90% of society uses it to pass time. But there's a percentage of the population that uses it to gain mastery in whatever it is that they're doing, whatever it is that they're trying to master. People learn online today, right? People become accountants and lawyers online. People do their GCSEs and A-levels and degrees online. You don't have to do any of that stress level of learning. You can learn at your own leisure, your own pace, with sounds or visuals that work for you. We're all different. Each and every one of us learns differently. Understand your learning style and then dial in on it. How best do you learn? Some people, a lot of people, in fact, a large majority of the planet are visual. We're visual creatures. So we're entertained when we're watching something rather than just listening, right? So listening is passive, watching is active, engaging more parts of the brain, right? When you're watching something, your eyes are working as well as your ears. When you're just listening, it's just your ears. And your eyes are doing something else. You might be driving or, they're distracted. So it's a different level of impact for some people. Some people learn better when they are just listening and not watching. Maybe the watching is a distraction. Like I said, everyone has a different learning mechanism. Understand what your best learning style is, your learning mechanism, and then dial in on that and do a lot of it, right? Minimum half an hour a day. Dedicate 30 minutes a day to becoming a master of network marketing. How about that? What if that was your commitment? Becoming a master, not just listening to network marketing stuff. You see, the intention is everything. You can listen to exactly the same message, but the intention with which you're listening produces the outcome. If you're a casual listener, you'll know the knowledge. But if you're actively engaged, making notes, again, creating neurological pathways, when you listen, you watch, and you write, you're accelerating the learning. You accelerate the speed with which you retain information and understand information. So the more of your body parts you can engage in the learning process, the quicker you become a professional and the quicker you are able to then influence. That's it. You will never run out of people to talk to. Promise you this. You'll be so overwhelmed with the number of people you're speaking to, your next problem will be you won't be able to follow up fast enough, right? But I'd rather have the problem of not being able to follow up fast enough than the one where I'm twiddling my thumbs, wondering who I should be talking to next. Can you see? That's why I always say that the first skill, the invitation skill, what you got to learn around that invitation skill part is huge. And if you crack that nut, everything else falls into place. Without that, you're twiddling your thumbs. You might be the best follower-up on the planet. You might be the best closer in the world. You might be the most amazing trainer that's ever been born in network marketing. But if you haven't got the ability to win friends and influence people, you are twiddling your thumbs. Don't be caught up in that space where you know so much, because then that will just be frustrating. So know which skills you need to master based on the stages that you're at. In the beginning, all of your focus is on building relationships, building connections, filling your lead pot, if you like, your lead generation, having more people every single day added to the people that you're conversing with so that you start getting overwhelmed. So now it's like, okay, who am I going to invite next? Who am I going to invite tonight? And that's another thing, knowing that you're going to invite a couple of people every day. You know your numbers, right? If you invite one and they show up every single day, you're a master already. If every person you invite shows up, you're a master. Then just invite one person a day and your diary is full. You have 365 people to speak to in a year. If you invite one person a day to look at the opportunity, that's 365 people in a year that you will have. Chances are you're not that good. Not to burst your bubble, right? Because, you know, even after 27 years, I've tried it all. I'm not that good. So I'm going to guess that you're not that good. So maybe your numbers are more like 1 in 2 shows up or 1 in 3 shows up. Then that's your number. Then invite 3 every single day. That means you've got to invite 1,000 people this year for 365 to show up. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, just know your own numbers and work it out so that you can ensure that your average of 1 a day showing up is there. You can increase the average, 2 a day, 3 a day showing up. If your average is 1 in 3, talk to 10 a day. That's 3,500 people a year. It's nothing. It's not even a number. If you're consciously winning friends and influencing people, if you're going on to LinkedIn and Facebook every single day with intention to meet somebody that's like-minded, that's open-minded, that's looking for an opportunity. If you have that intention as your backdrop, it doesn't take you long to get a few thousand friends on these social media platforms these days. You can have 0 social media presence today, and within 3 or 4 months, your account will be maxed out on Facebook. If your intention is to do that. Do you see? What is your intention when you get online every day? Is there an intention? Do you have an intention? I would assert most people click on the app on their phone and log into Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok or whatever else you're logging into on autopilot. There's no intention. You're just clicking the button. It's telling you what to do versus you telling it what to do. It's a tool. Don't let it make you a tool. Most people operate reactively, right? You go into Facebook and Facebook's telling you what to do. Oh, I better get back to these people. Better, and then you're limited to that. Once you've answered all the replies to your messages, and then you've looked on your wall and replied back to everyone on your wall, you're done. But that doesn't need to be the end of it. That can be the beginning of it. Then you can say, right, what am I going to get out of this today? Now that I've served what I've already got, how am I going to add more value? Okay, let me have a look around. Can you see? It doesn't take much. Really doesn't. Speaking to 10 people a day, if it means that you can set yourself up within 90 days, is it worth it? Would you do it? I don't know. If that was your job spec, if you had a job interview and they said, right, here's what you're going to do for 90 days, you're going to build rapport, connect with, reach out to, and invite 10 people a day to a Zoom, to the corporate Zoom. If that was your job spec, have you got what it takes to get it done? Would you do it? Find 10 qualified leads every day for 90 days. And if you do, you get to keep the job. We give you a title, we give you a board seat, we give you all of it. Would you do that for 90 days? I would assert most people, yes. Right? Of course you would. So why aren't you doing it? It's your own board seat that you're fighting for. Why wouldn't you? I don't know. You know the answer to that, right? If you can unlock that, like, what is stopping you from doing that bare, basic minimum of leadership level activity, right? And I'm addressing leaders here, right? The average person is never in their entire life going to even dream about talking to 10 people a day. It's never going to happen. That's just a fact of the matter. Most people speak to 1 or 2 people a week at best. And they'll get the result that's correlated to that, right? But when we talk about leadership, that leadership is with intention, is with purpose, is decided up front in advance, and you pay the price first. That's how leadership works. You don't get to be a leader without paying the price first. There's a price to pay. What I'm sharing with you is part of the price. Daily learning, gaining knowledge, building your skill set, showing up so that people are like, wow, you know what? I need to listen a bit more to this person. They're guiding me in the right direction. They're adding value. They're contributing. Is that how you show up? Is that how your upline shows up? Some of you might, again, I had a message today. My upline doesn't talk to me. Stuff like that happens. It's unfortunate. But the good news is they reached out. Their upline is my direct sponsor. So their upline doesn't talk to them. So they reached out to me. So guess what I did? Got back to the upline, had a word, said, listen, what's going on? Why are you not talking to your people? You don't just bring people in and then forget about them. What is that all about? Get back to them. If they're sending you messages, if they're calling you, get back to your people. Why has it been 3 days, 4 days before they've heard from you? What's that all about? Do you see? Leadership, taking ownership, 100% responsibility. Own it. It's your baby. So that is like the foundational stuff that you can build empires on, right? Network marketing is so easy. It's frustrating for leaders when you know how easy it is. And you see how much people struggle by making it difficult. That's the frustrating thing for every leader on this Zoom, I promise you. Your upline leaders' biggest frustration is they wish they could show you how easy it was. And it's as easy as wax on, wax off. The frustration is nobody's doing wax on, wax off. They're just reading about wax on, wax off. They're hearing about it. They're watching videos about it, but they're not actually doing, they're not showing up in the lesson and doing the wax on, wax off every day. So if you're up for it, there's your task, 10 new contacts a day in your pipeline. And see if you can get 3 of them to a Zoom. How about that? And in the beginning, the first 2 weeks might not be that cool. 3rd week, you'll start seeing a breakthrough because your muscle starts getting stronger. Your language, your pitch, you get fluent, you get smooth, you get slick in your delivery, you know what to say, when to, all of it starts coming together. It doesn't take long, it happens very quickly. But it feels like a long time in the beginning because we don't know. Your frustration makes it feel like a long time. When you speak to 10 and nobody shows up, that feels like a long slog. Like, wow, all of that effort and nothing happened. And then on day 2, you speak to another 10 brand new, fresh people and none of them show up again. That's a long, long journey. But I can guarantee you, there aren't many guarantees enough, but here's a guarantee. If you stick with the system, at some point you have a breakthrough. You have your own breakthrough. You grow. You realize where you're coming short on your invitations. You realize where you need to sharpen it up, tighten it up, where you need to get more of a commitment from them, where you need to be a lot more firm in the conversation. You turn from wet blanket conversations to solid, firm conversations. You literally will know where you're letting yourself down and where you can give yourself an advantage. And within a couple of weeks, it's inevitable. People start showing up. Just stick with it. Keep improving. And that's the importance of it. That's why the 10 a day. It's the wax on, wax off. Because you're forcing yourself to do something that is not producing results. But that time is skill improvement time. Don't judge yourself on the results of that early activity. Just know that if you do that early activity enough, then it's inevitable that you'll improve that activity. And before you know it, you'll be inviting people for fun, like literally, just because you can. Anytime, any place, anywhere, just like that. And they show up. You'll be doing it just for fun. But you got to go through that initial uncomfortable phase to get through to the point where you could say, you know what, I'm going to do 30 today just because I can. And you can. You can do 30 today. It's like that. It gets like that, right? But only if you go through that first phase. So I'm done on today's. I'm going to get into the room and ask you guys to share what was your learning from that. What are you going to do about it? What is your takeaway from today? What actions are you going to implement on your leadership journey? Who's going first? Lunga, how are you, my champion? Go ahead and unmute yourself. You should have an unmute button.
Wow, champ. I'm good. How are you, champ?
Amazing, thank you.
Wow, I'm guilty of social media. It's charge. I'm just playing games on social media, likes and all that. I'm thinking very hard. You know what? I need to develop more of engaging more rather than waiting for people to come to me. They do come, but you know what? I need to sharpen up my skills there. To sharpen up there. I'm very guilty. So
wow,
I'm
awesome. Look at that.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Isn't it beautiful when you can identify like laser point exactly where it is, your point of failure, and you've now got a breakthrough. Like now I know tomorrow your social media experience is going to be completely different to today, right?
Powerful. Thank you, Dr. Kat.
Love it. Beautiful.
Appreciate
well done,
it.
man. Instant application. That's what I love to see. That's what I'm talking about. Iola, hey, how are we doing?
Hi, Kalpesh. I'm doing great.
Amazing.
Amazing training. Thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
I have 2 pointers that I want you to help me with, right? So I have what I notice. There are persons that reach out to me on a daily basis. I get persons on a Zoom on a daily basis. I have a chat with over 50 something persons on it. All of them, there's a common denominator there. They're all broke, right? Or they don't have the funds. And okay, Ayola, give me until month end or give me until, next month. At what point do I become stern with that conversation to get that commitment from them? One.
Love it.
And two, I also have a group of successful business persons that I have reached out to that honestly I was procrastinating to reach out to because of fear. I want to believe because I already know where their success lies. However, I did reach out and I did get a commitment from them. Okay, Ayola, I'll give you the time to do a Zoom. But that's like 3 weeks ago, and I reach out again 3 weeks after, At what point do I get stern with those persons also to get a commitment from them? Because I don't want to come across as belligerent or as if I'm trying to sell a product.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you say get stern, it's not so much about being stern. It's more about the commitment you have to them and making a difference to them. You don't need to be stern when you're committed to making a difference. Then your conversation is not about, see, stern is like you're trying to get them to do something.
Right.
But when you're committed, then you want them to want to do something.
Okay. So how do I, I get it.
Okay, good.
So where am I lacking in that part?
I don't know. You will know, but I'll tell you the first one, I'll just give you some pointers in terms of what we can do. How do we motivate somebody that gets what you've shown them? They want in. So they're saying, yes, I want in. I just need time to get the money, right?
Yeah.
So their relationship to money is casual. Instantly, you know that.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
So then what's missing is urgency, the opposite of casual.
Right.
So what you're looking to is how do you bring urgency for them to say, you know what, I can't afford to wait 2 weeks.
Right.
Not, I'll do it in a couple of weeks when I get paid. That's casual.
Yeah.
That's waiting for life to happen.
Right.
Versus, I've got to do this now. I need this. I've been waiting for this. Does that make sense? So
I got you.
An analogy I often give is if I gave you a Ferrari for £1,000, would you take it?
Right.
And you had to come up with the money today.
Yeah.
What's your answer?
You'd find it. Yeah, I'll find it.
All of a sudden, where did 2 weeks go?
Yeah.
Did you see? Urgency is missing. And guess what? I know tons of people that have started a business in network marketing with £1,000 and made enough to buy a Ferrari. So that's what our business does. It gives people Ferraris for £1,000.
Yeah.
But they haven't related to the business yet that way. So that's where you can
Right.
learn that when you're sharing with them, do they get it? Do they get that you have just given them the solution to everything that the next 2 weeks is not going to bring to them?
Right. Okay. So now that you have explained it that way, I see where I falter, or I see where I need to strengthen. I should say, by not being casual, because I am so don't want to come across as though I'm selling a product to someone. I understand their why. So if you say to me, okay, you know, I want a passive income to help pay off my mortgage, you know, or based, okay, fine. All right. So what's your budget? I guess I need to get them to understand.
Ask this question. Once you find out what they want, ask them how bad they want it.
Right.
How serious are they? Identify. Say, look, everyone wants that. Whatever somebody wants, everyone wants. I want to pay off my mortgage early. Do you know what? The whole planet wants to pay their mortgage off early. Big deal. It's not enough.
Yeah.
How bad do you want it? Because that's the only thing that makes the difference. Do you see?
I got
That's
you.
where you add the
I got
urgency.
you.
Right? So
Yeah.
you get their why, and then you make their why an absolute priority. How bad do you want it? How serious are you? Are you a talker or a doer? Yeah.
Right. I got you. Thank
And
you so
business
much,
people-
Kalpesh.
They're busy, they've got stuff going on, but you know what? Interrupt their life. Don't be scared to interrupt their life. Say, listen, I know how busy you are. Let's get this wrapped up now. What's it going to take to get this done today? Because that's not a money conversation. They already have the money, right? Their challenge is most likely going to be time and, you know, committing and all of that, right? So look, just let's get it done. Let's wrap it up, get it out the way. Let's get your minting machine set up. You'll be done in 10 days. Your rewards will start dropping in, job done. Then we'll speak about how you can build. Cool?
Got you. I got you. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Well done.
Really
Good, good.
appreciate it.
You bet. Dizzy, what's going on, champ?
Well, you know what, Caps? I say this all the time. You always knock it out of the park. This is probably one of the best ones. You know why? Because I related so much. That book by Dale Carnegie was the first book that I got introduced to, and it did transform everything around me because I was able to communicate with anybody, anytime, any place, just like you said.
Right.
And I think even though it's part of my nature now anyway, I can't help it. You can always improve that. So I think I've got the book at home. I think I'm going to go and read it because it's something that you forget to do because it's you can always improve it. And the way you've described it, it's when you look at income producing activity, whether it's going in a job or you're going for business, whatever it is you have to do, there's effort that you put in and there's stuff that comes out, right? Whatever format of reward you want, you get it. So if you just analyze it like that, this industry and profession, once you look at it in that way, it becomes another option. And then it's a case of, well, why am I not doing that then? Because I like talking to people.
Yeah.
And if you can get paid to do that, get paid to make friends, well, let's go and make some friends.
Boom. Make more friends.
Make more friends.
Love it. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dizzy. Good, good. I'm looking forward
Thank
to
you
your,
so much, Cal, for doing this.
You bet. My pleasure. Looking forward to your fruits from rereading Dale Carnegie's awesome book.
Oh, yeah.
Look
That's
who we've got
definitely...
here. Goran, how are you, champ? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Sorry about that.
Hey.
I'm just really curious. Is Dizzy sitting in a spaceship or is it a car? I don't know. It looks.
Dizzy is a
once again,
spaceship.
Yes. Space cadet. That's what you got to be sometimes.
Yep.
Look, Kalpesh, fantastic. Another classic. And you talked about some of the classics there, and I'm kind of your vintage. I'm a bit older than you actually, and I've been around the industry for a long time. And we were kind of fortunate to be involved in companies where you really had to go to work, seriously go to work on yourself before you ever got any results. Unless you came into the opportunity with a real good, really strong grounding, strong self-esteem, charisma, maybe credibility amongst your peers. And I can remember getting in the industry and having none of that, other than on the sporting field, to be honest. Had a lot of credibility, was a leader in the sporting environment, playing Aussie rules football, but not when it came to business. All of my friends kind of looked sideways and thought, "What? You're in business now? Come on!" And it's interesting.
Were you like a semi-professional or professional?
Yeah. Look, I played in a probably one level below the top level.
Wow.
In Australia.
I just want to. The reason I highlight that, it's interesting because then right below you we've got Sharon.
Yeah.
Also, high-level athlete. There's the parallels are always there. Myself, high-level business.
Yeah.
Identify people that strive to be the best in something, and they're a perfect fit for network marketing, right? Because it's just a transference of attitude, mindset, and then picking up the skills. But it's no coincidence for me that you achieve that level of success in athletics and you're winning in network marketing the way that you are. It's almost like predictable outcome if you're committed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's right. So the parallels were always there. And, I can remember I played a pretty physical game. It's Aussie rules football. George is on here. He knows what I'm talking about.
You explained it to me once. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
painful.
4 broken noses, fractured cheekbone, dislocated collarbone, broken ribs, knees, ankles, hamstrings, you name it, back
network marketing is
injuries.
the perfect career choice after all that, isn't it?
I tell you what, it sure is. But what it tells you is you get knocked over and, you look over to your coach and he's looking at you like, what are you doing on the ground? You got to get back up. And so you get back up. You might be limping, you might be bruised, you might be battered, but you don't want to show that. You want to move on to the next one. And so you get involved. I got involved in this industry, and I can remember in my first 30 to 40 days showing about 40 of my friends the business. Now, I'd got involved in Perth in Western Australia. A few weeks later, moved back to Melbourne where I'd grown up. And so I just went to work. I didn't know what I was doing, had no real grounding. But one thing, and you talked about it, were tapes, books, and association. And so devouring tapes, which were really just seminars that you played in your car or wherever it was. I'd go for runs and have the Sony Walkman on. Yes, it was Sony Walkman days, right? And then every day in the morning, first 20, 30 minutes was reading. And I just found doing that consistently, day in, day out, did exactly what you said. It made you sharper, it made you more aware, made you more self-aware, but also aware of other people. And even though I'm a bit of a slow learner, as I like to say, I only really had one ability. It's called stickability. And the thing is, by sticking around and doing it consistently, while I didn't really make any money for a couple of years, and we're talking in the old, the Amway type of days. I wasn't in Amway, but we were in a company that was similar to Amway, where it was blood and guts to get out there, driving the wheels. I did 300,000 kilometers in the first few years in a car, dedicated to the business, all over. And so, and I know people that did literally 1,000 kilometers over a few years. So that's what we had to do. But it grounded us, and it morphed us into being able to cope with something called SNEOP. You know what SNEOP is, right?
SNEOP, yeah.
Susceptible to the negative influence of other people. And I remember one of my mentors saying to me many, many years ago that success is the ability to go from one failure to another without any loss in enthusiasm. Because if you're emotionally connected to what happens next, then you're in trouble. Because when we're in the business of influence, which is really what we're in, then you're going to have highs and lows every single day. Someone says yes, someone says no, someone can't make up their mind. And if you're excited when they say yes, but you're depressed when they say no, you're going to quit very quickly.
They're screwed. Yeah.
You're not going to last. You have to even out that mentality. It's got to be literally like water off a duck's back. You know that old saying.
Love it.
And whether someone joins or whether someone doesn't join, it's my attitude just simply became that that's fine either way. I'm still moving forward. I'm still succeeding.
Perfect.
And so I would just encourage everyone to maybe do a little bit of a reset right now, you know, in the next 21 days to make a habit. Now, Kalpesh has given you a challenge. I want to give you another challenge, and that is grab a book. And I would suggest one of the ones Kalpesh has talked about, How to Win Friends, Think and Grow Rich, Magic of Thinking Big, you know, some of these old time classics. You know, we used to pay money for tapes every week, and I used to probably pay more in tapes than I did in product because I knew that if I grew here, I would grow in my business. And, you know, I think when you do that, it not just keeps you sharp, but it keeps your dream alive as well.
Yeah.
And what you think about is what comes about. I was just coming back from the gym earlier. Thought I'd better go and do some quick shopping. I'm flying tomorrow, so I just wanted to grab some things. I was making dinner, and you know, I was thinking about my son. And all of a sudden, I turn around the aisle, and there he is. He hadn't come with me. Totally, you know, the law of attraction. Whatever dominates in your mind is what you're going to be bringing into your life. So he was out
that's
getting goodies for
subject
himself.
in itself.
It's a whole subject in itself.
Absolutely.
But when we read, when we listen, when we associate with the types of people that are going to help us move in the positive direction we want to go, you can't help but being drawn to that and drawing the people that you need that are going to help you make a difference, not just to them, but to your own situation. They're going to be drawn and attracted to you. So why not over the next 21 days or thereabouts, take 20 minutes and invest in yourself. And as Kalpesh said, it's all out there on YouTube today for free.
Yeah, like you said, we pay
you
good
can
money
grab
for this stuff. Pick
absolutely
up nothing.
Jim Rohn. I mean, I know you've quoted Jim Rohn many a time, and his building your network marketing business. You can get it for free on YouTube. Yeah. Why not just listen to that every day for 21 days? You pick up something new every day you listen to it. And it's only an hour and 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So, guys, what mentorship you've got here with what you've just heard from Kalpesh is the secret sauce in being successful in this industry, without a shadow of a doubt. So thanks for doing what you're doing.
Beautiful.
Hey, George. Hey, Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Goran. Really beautiful and wise words from somebody that's been around this place for long enough to know. And again, it's the same message, isn't it? It's not rocket science. There's an actual science behind all of this. George.
Hey, guys. How we going?
Hey, awesome. Yeah. What have you done to yourself, mate? What the hell? What are you playing at?
That's part of the story today. So, yeah, I snapped my leg jet skiing on Sunday and broke both my tibia and fibula. And but it was purpose meant because
well, just to put some context, I got pictures this morning from George, and I don't look at pictures like that very well. X-rays, legs falling apart, and then screws going. I'm like, oh mate, what are you doing?
They bolted me back together, but it's been really cool because the ambulance, the girls driving the ambulance, they're hot prospects. The hospital's a hot prospect. The chief ortho in the hospital, like he says, how come such a good attitude? You've done the worst job on a leg I've seen this year. I said, man, it's all for a purpose. I'm here to meet you guys and stuff like that. So talking to them about their dreams and stuff, they're going like, but what do you do? I said, I'm in crypto, aren't you? And they're going like,
look at that.
Tell us more about it. And I'm going, yes, I can. Don't you worry about it.
Look at that. Look at that. What I love about what you've done there, though, because that is right. Like, it would be so easy to sit there and just fall into feeling sorry for yourself. And, oh my God, what have I done? And you're sitting there laughing, joking and going, collecting prospects while you're in the hospital with 2 broken legs. Come on. It doesn't get better attitude than that.
And it's so cool. And the guys are going like, man, that. And I'm going, yes, it's all so much fun. And yeah, it's purpose. And again, thank you very much for your leadership, Kalpesh. And again, Sue, thanks for taking us to dinner in Dubai back in December. That was pretty cool. And
Beautiful.
we're a lot of fun. And yeah, there's just so much opportunity out there. And the thing about it is, it's finally dawning me how serious it is. I actually can't even drive for the next 6 weeks. I'm non 6 weeks. So I'm confined to my bedroom. But that's where I run my business from anyway, so it doesn't matter.
What a dream. There you go. Happy days. George, thank you. We all wish you a speedy recovery. But in the meantime, just keep up that great mindset and keep doing what you're doing. I love it. Beautiful thing. Sharon.
Hello. Oh, poor George. But you know what? Silver lining, isn't it? It's that being able to build a business because he can't do anything else. So he will get on with business, which is brilliant. Fantastic, Kalpesh. I would not miss these Tuesdays. They really are nuts and bolts of everything, and some wise words from Mr. Goran. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's if you want anything doing, if you want to build a successful business, I always say find a busy person. Find people that are up to stuff. People think, oh yeah, well, he's busy or she's busy. Great. If you're busy, they're the ones I want to talk to. I don't want to talk to the lazy people. I don't want to talk to lazy people. Lazy people do nothing anyway. Well, they don't. Most people, a lot of people are lazy, Kalpesh, and they won't get off their backside and do any work. And then they wonder why they're not successful. And that's because generally most people are lazy. I mean, including me, we're all lazy at heart. We can be. I think you've got a choice. And I think when you've done a sport, you know, I was an international judo player, and you know, I was competing against myself, and I think that if you set yourself a target, it's all about consistency. All about getting up every day and saying to yourself, what am I going to do today to make myself better, or what can I do to be able to make my business better today? And if you can do one thing, I don't care what that is, one thing, just making a contact or helping somebody with something, that means that, guess what, you're succeeding today.
Wow.
And can you imagine after 30 days of doing something, one thing each day, trust me, in 30 days, something will start to happen in your business. And I believe that. To me, I'm trying to compress a little bit of time.
I know you are. You've got a bit of a race on, haven't you? You're trying to steal some money from my pocket. You are. The good news is I want you to take it.
I know you do.
Back into my pocket.
I know. Kalpesh said it's okay, Sharon. I'll take the difference. I said, I'm blinking. No, you will.
Sharon's like that close to Ambassador 6-star. She's still a director 5. She's pushing for 6 by the end of this month. You've got 24 hours left.
Oh my God. And it's such a
if anyone's going to do it, it's Sharon. I know that.
By hook or crook, I'm going to really, really aim to do it, guys. So I'm hoping.
Listen, and do you know what? And if you don't, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. I'll take the money. Don't worry.
You'll take the override.
I'll take the difference. Oh, brilliant.
And you would be very welcome to it, Kalpesh, if I'm honest.
Bless you.
So that's not a problem. But no, I mean, we missed Director 5 last month by...
You did. A few hours, wasn't it? 1 day. Less
than 24 hours. And we just didn't realize, and you know, and I thought we'd
doing the same again. I'm liking this.
Didn't. And now I'm counting them, thinking, can we make this? So I hope so. So. There's been a lot of things going on, and August is a weird month for network marketing. Why do people keep going away?
Yep, kids are at home and they're all up on holidays. I know.
Yeah, I think.
But even still, though, so you hit Director 5 on the 1st of the month, and you are on the cusp of 6 in August. I mean, like you said, right, in probably potentially one of the toughest months to build.
It is
in network marketing of the year is August.
Yeah,
and in that you've jumped one of the big ranks, like you're on the edge of. It's huge.
It is.
30 days.
Absolutely, it is huge. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm absolutely loving what we're doing. I believe we've got a gift. I believe we've got a second chance, that maybe it's your third, maybe it's your 10th. But guess
Mhm.
what? I believe we've all got a gift. I want to hang around with nice people. I want to hang around with people and make friends, more friends like Dizzy. You know, that's what I want to do in life. I want to be around, you know, the nice people that are going places. And
Mm.
by the way, Nicolette, I have to shout this out. Nicolette, I know one person called Nicolette, and my best friend from being a child. And this first time ever I've ever seen another Nicolette. I can't believe it.
Wow, look at that. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
hello.
I just thought I'd say hi, Nicolette. So I want to be around nice
You've
people.
added somebody to your names list. We used to do
Yeah.
that before. Who else do you know with the same name? Boom. Names
Oh, it's
list.
brilliant. I'm excited. And I just want to be around nice people, good people, people who are moving places. And I loved the video you posted, Kalpesh. Oh my God, you know, haters will be haters. I just love it. So you haters, bring it on. Woohoo!
Woo! Come on. Aaron, how you doing, buddy? Hey.
All right. Karpesh, great as usual. Thank you for. I have not missed one of these days as yet. And hearing you guys speaking, as a matter of fact, as you were speaking today, I actually started reading this book. It says, "Change it if you want to change your life. You have to change your life." And I started reading this book a couple days ago. I'm just like you. I read when I read. I read back to front, and then I trust me. Yeah. So I take very long to read books, but I've given myself a commitment to read at least 10 pages of a book every single day. So I get up, and I got up this morning. Like this morning, I got up and I just didn't want to do it, and I put aside everything. I picked up the phone first, of course. I put aside everything and I sat down and I put the phone aside. I'm hearing the phone ringing, and I read my 10 pages. Actually, I read more than 10 pages. So, that is what I'm committing myself to read. I have a couple of books that I need to read. How to Influence this book as well. I have this book after I started reading it, but never completed it. I'm going to complete this one.
Classic.
So those are my goals. And while I'm hearing you guys speaking, Sharon, don't worry, I wouldn't mess with you, right? But I have been myself. I have been a boxer for some years. I've represented the country, our country, in couple Caribbean champions. I've been to Olympic qualifiers as well. Didn't make the Olympics.
Wow.
And one of the reasons for boxing is, you always want to hit that goal of winning an Olympic medal, and then you get some scout to take you, and you get a big contract, and you become a big professional boxer. That didn't happen. I got knocked out at my second Olympic qualifiers. And actually, a guy that in my first Olympic qualifiers, the guy that knocked me out of it, that beat me. The first guy I beat in the Olympic qualifiers, he came and went to another qualifier after same period. He qualified and he won an Olympic gold medal. Same guy I beat him
Look
two
at that.
times. And then the next year, he won a gold
Wow.
medal, Olympic champion. And then I was like, wow. And I beat this guy two times.
Look at that.
And then a year after that, I went to Olympic qualifiers again. I didn't qualify. I got knocked out that time. Dropped too much weight, got knocked out. And then, I said, let me go back at it again. And then I said, you know what? The goal is to make money. And then the end result is financial freedom somewhere or the other. And I decided to just, I didn't quit. I just shift and change the vehicle that I'm moving now,
Brilliant.
which is now network marketing. I retired from my job and I'm doing this full time. And one of my favorite quotes that I like to share, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Rocky, but I always like saying that the world is in all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very tough, mean place. And no matter how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit you as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you could hit. It's about how hard you could get hit and keep moving forward. How much you could take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So if you know what you're worth, go out and get what you're worth, but you got to be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him, her, or anybody. So, I memorized that. I always kept that. Yeah. So I
One of my
always
favorite
use that,
scenes in the movie. It's a stunner. Love it. Beautiful. What a beautiful
So
message.
thank you. When I look at movies differently. I look at different stuff at movies, I don't look at it for entertainment, but I look at it from what I can learn from the concept of it.
Same.
So thank you. And again, as you were speaking, I was like, wow, you hit the nail on the button. I'm actually reading, I'm actually going after it. So, you know, that's what I'm going to
I
do.
can
And,
so relate to that. You know, people that read naturally will never understand. Reading
It's
10
difficult.
pages is like climbing a mountain first thing in the morning.
It
It's
took
a
me an
huge
hour.
process.
It took me almost an hour and a half to read 10.
I know. It's weird because you can read a whole paragraph and none of it lands. You have to read
And
it
you have to
again.
go back and do
Yeah,
it
you have to
again.
keep reading. You have to like, hold on, what did I just read? So reading is so much of an
Yes.
effort that what you read doesn't even land because you're so focused on reading that you have to go and now read it again just to understand what you've read. It's like a mad process, isn't it? Wow.
Yes. So I can relate with you on that.
Yeah, proper. Look at that. Legend. Thank you. But I didn't know that about boxing about you. You never told me that. Look at that.
Oh yeah, I was. If you
Wow.
Google me, you'll see some stuff. I was a national boxer.
Legend. Look at that. Nice. Well done, buddy. Good. And look, to round it off, none other than somebody that I love dearly with all of my heart, an absolute legend of a human being, all the way in sunny South Africa. Sivuile, how are you, champion? Go ahead and unmute yourself, brother. Sivuile, I know you can often have issues with internet over there. Right now, struggling with the unmute button.
Hello, leadership.
Hey, how are you, champ?
Hi, leadership. I'm fine. I'm 100% fine. And
Look at you.
You can see me the way I'm dressed, my leader.
Wow.
I was in the village, my leader. I was raking, cranking high our company, my leader. Nothing else.
Wow, you look sharp. Beautiful.
Oh no, I'm too sharp, my leader. I went to 2 institutions and I told the people who were there, this is the way to go.
Mm.
And really, my leader, if people are not smelling coffee now, I wonder where they will be in December. I want to praise my 2 business partners, Lunga Rocha, Uluyaka. They are taking South Africa to another level, my leader. People will not listen to you and don't mind about them. Let them close their ears, my leader. Let them close their ears and their eyes. You don't only close your ears and ears, they close their eyes. But you are taking us to another level, my leader. I highly appreciate that. We are having our leader here, Nomtu. She is taking care. She is the mother of all interventions, my leader. She is the mother of all interventions. We are going to go too far, my leader. Thank you so much for your support.
Wow.
The support that you are giving me, the support that you are giving Luyaka and the leadership Rocha is really much appreciated. Keep up the good work, leadership Kalpesh. We're going to rise. We're going to rise for the best. I'm telling you.
Awesome. Thank you. Absolutely awesome.
I'm having with me one of my leaders, and she is all the way from Port Elizabeth. She is in the company now, today. She joined under my business team, and we're going to drive. And you know the lady. She is powerful. She is powerful. Thank you so much, leadership.
Amazing. Beautiful. Well done, man. Super proud of you as always. Keep shining your light in the world. You make a massive difference and you are killing it out there. Love it. Thank you so much. Sharon, you got your hand back up? You want to close it off?
Yeah, just to let
Shut it down.
Yeah, just to let everybody know that Dan and myself, well, Dan mainly, has created a 30-day challenge for everybody starting September the 1st. And it's to do with, it's just for people to think about. It's to do with attending Zoom meetings, attending nuts and bolts, doing some fasting, drinking plenty of water, walking 7,500 steps a day, and also reading and listening to
Mm.
books. So we've got a 30-day challenge for all our community, and we've got a lot of
Fantastic.
people taking part in it. So I just feel that it all goes hand in hand.
It does. It does. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy business. It all does go hand in hand, because
Yeah.
when you're leading, it's a lot easier to lead and influence when people see that you're able to take care of your own business.
Absolutely.
So
So
it
that's
all does go
starting
hand in hand.
September the 1st for us. So
Love
we've
it.
got some massive changes. So just getting ready. All the kids are back in school. So no excuses for everybody or anybody. We can get back with business. And September to December are the best
They're the strongest months. They are.
for network marketing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I believe that people
Yeah.
will
This
do
next
massive
quarter is the
things.
strongest quarter of the year for sure.
Mm.
Followed by the new year rush of Jan, Feb, March. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
So
huge build.
I'm a huge fan of Christmas, and I say to everybody, where do you want to be by Christmas?
Exactly. It's a big
Think
one.
about
Huge
this.
leverage. Huge leverage.
What do you want to buy your kids for Christmas? Where
Beautiful.
do you want to be by Christmas? And I'm telling you now, guys, 4 months, just get it done.
And one thing again, really thank you, Sharon. That's an absolute 100% golden nugget for this time of the year. A couple of things happen. Number one, most people don't realize how close Christmas already is now. It is the last quarter before Christmas.
Yeah.
Secondly, the other thing that really helps with that is remind them, not like saying that their last Christmas wasn't as great as it might have been or could have been, but just say, do you know how most people's Christmas is? Get them to think about it. Most people fall into the category anyway, but you don't want to identify it as them. Just say, do you know how most people spend Christmas? And then talk about it. Most people spend Christmas stressed. It's one of the most stressful times of the year. And why is it stressful? Money.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to put a box under the tree for the kids. Everybody wants to have a little bit of a tipple, a cake, a turkey. Yeah, we all want to do it. Want to invite friends and family over. And it's stressful because all of that, 9 out of 10 people puts them into debt, which is why January is one of the biggest months for people that are massively stressed with debt. They have credit card bills that they don't even know where to begin to pay off. It's a massive overspending month, but it doesn't have to be an overspending month. So that's where you can step in and say, listen, there's two ways it's going to go for most people this Christmas. The 9 out of 10 are going to do what they've always done, overspend and panic all of January, February, March, trying to pay it off.
Yeah.
Or prepare now and have the best Christmas you could ever have and have the best January you could ever have, because you won't be in debt. How about that?
It's
It's a
exciting.
beautiful time to build. It really is. Awesome. What a wonderful way to round up. Thank you, Sharon. Absolutely perfect. Love you loads. And thank you, everyone, everybody that showed up today. We don't take it for granted. We love you all. We appreciate you. And it takes all of us to make the dream work. So go forth and multiply. We've got a great week lined up already. Tomorrow it will be Mick, I think, as Goran did yesterday. One of the two anyway, so tomorrow. And then Thursday, the beautiful Sue. Friday, the amazing Dizzy. And then, of course, the weekends is when you do your launches for your teams. And hopefully you're doing your own one-to-ones and using the Zoom presentation, the 10-minute overview of part 1 to get your own frontline sorted.